Good morning. How the devil are you? Let me check the weather forecast. I could just look out the window. Oh, raining. But I like rain. So let's see. Oh, we're on quickly this morning. Is that Verna? Verna Tongue, what a great name. You've got yourself a gold medal. Good morning to you. Gail Blackman, you've got silver. And Patricia. Well, Trish, how are you? You've got a bronze. Oh, three sort of newbies on the podium. Well, not newbies, but you know what I mean. Not regular medal winners. Not making you feel, but that's ace. I love it when that happens. So, hi Josephine and Sarah and Fliss. Good morning. Morning, Sophie. So I'll just crack on. Morning, Jean. I'll just say a few hellos while we're waiting for people to come. I have to give it a couple of minutes because it takes a couple of minutes for people to get on. Morning, Tracy. Facebook. Even though I do suggest, morning, Susan, that you go into the three dots and ask to see my stuff. You can request notifications, but sometimes it doesn't even work. Platinum medal for Erica, because she's the first to say she shared it. So good morning. It does make, Chris, 3 mornings in a row. Brilliant. Morning, Nicola. Right, that's going to have to be it. Billy, good morning. That's it for this morning's. So, yes, 3 mornings in a row. Well done. So how are you getting on? Some people have given up already. They'll have thought, do you know, it's too time consuming. And I always say my gratitudes anyway when I'm on the toilet. So what's the point? So, hang on. Just bear with me while I'm waiting. A bit of lippy. That's all. Not even brush my hair. I never brush my hair. What's the point? It looks the same when I brushed it. Or worse. So, how are you getting on? Did you hold your magic rock last night? People saying, well, I can't find one. Where do I find a rock? That's up to you. You can hold a pair of socks, really. Does it matter? It's the process. You know, go out and find a stone on the ground. Or I've got loads of little things that I've found over the years. Even this. You know, you get by these little stones that you buy from shops. That one just says, I have it on the kitchen window, it just says happiness. Things like that, you know, something that feels nice. You know, I do just, you know, so anything could be a piece of jewellery, a pendant, anything. You know, did you think of your favourite memory now? Don't worry if you forgot. Don't worry if you forgot to do it. It's going to be a new habit, you know. And then, do you know what? You can, quite often I might just go to sleep and think about it and not even hold my stone because I've been doing it for years. But I always try and think of something before I go to sleep. And I was listening to The Secret yesterday. I've not listened to that for about 4 years. Well, 3 years, I think. And I'm listening. I prefer listening to it on Audible rather than watching it. It's on Netflix, The Secret. It's on Netflix, so go and watch it. But the film's really weird. I've only watched the first 20 minutes, and the book, I didn't want to just sit and read, so I love the Audible. I love listening to it. I love popping it on whenever I go out for, you know, when I go out for a walk, and that's what I'll do now because I'm going to listen to it all. And it's just a really great reminder that it's so habitual for us to wake up and just be pissed off, especially at the moment. You know, we wake up and we're just fed up because of everything that's going on, because we feel crap, because the nights are dark, because it's raining, because we've got loads to do, because what's going to happen with Christmas, because what's going to happen with that, and it's just, and so we just go, and that's what we send out, you know, that's the vibration that we have. We're just fed up. You know, so listening to The Secret really, really reminds me about the language, you know, that we use and how it can make such a difference. So, yes, so use your whatever you have. So I always try and have in my head before I go to sleep, and the very act that you do that, it means you're going to sleep with a positive mindset. So, right, and did you do your 10 gratitudes? You know, I know that can be a ball ache. and people saying, oh my God, I'm struggling to think already. And that is the point. This is a reminder that that is a point. Have you shared it yet, by the way? I'm going to get on to today's very quickly, but please do share it. Honestly, the amount of people yesterday who said, oh my goodness, I've just found this. This is just what I need at the moment. And that's because you shared it. It really does make a difference. I'll keep going on about it. You know, it's just so... You know, and people think they just need to be able to do 20 burpees to make their life better, and that's ace. It really is, because you know how much I believe in fitness, but I cannot do anything. Do you know what? My back's just gone a bit again this morning. Well, it's not been right for 6 weeks, but I was just trying to put my leggings on, and it's not been so bad, and it just all went tight. So it's a pain, but that's what it is. That's what it is at the moment. So I can't even do my fitness. I've not done it for 6 weeks, and I'm envious of people that can. But I'm just trusting that it just is what it is. And so I'm really focusing on this sort of mindset stuff. Otherwise, I'll just be utterly shite and I'd disappear for 6 weeks. So here we are anyway. So please do share it. Gail did a 10 yesterday. I'm working on today's. So that's amazing. You do them in the morning, do them whenever suits you. You don't have to do them in the morning. Sometimes you might forget, and it doesn't matter. But really, honestly, when you really have to start thinking, oh my God, what am I grateful for? And you have to sit there and you feel a bit of a selfish tosser because you sat there going, what am I grateful for? Do you know, I can't think. Come on, Sally, have a think. What am I grateful for? And you feel a bit of a knob because you can't think, but the fact that you have to think makes it even more important, makes it even more impactful. It really does. A lot of people do start to enjoy really thinking of them and right why. Don't forget, don't just roll it off your tongue. Oh, I'm grateful for the sun and the water and the trees and my husband and the dog and the cat and the lottery win. You know, it's meaningless. You need to say why you're grateful. So I'll catch up on the comments. No, people are still saying hello. Thanks, Anne. Sometimes I have to fake my determination to stop me getting depressed. But I just feel really quite vulnerable to it at the moment just because of my back. But, you know, gratitude really makes a difference because it really does. Oh, and somebody said yesterday, can I do the same gratitude twice? No, because that makes it easy. You know, you've got to do different ones, although you can do for different reasons. I put Simon on my list again yesterday because I went down and I just sometimes, because he works downstairs, I tend to work upstairs, and I went down and sometimes just get really overwhelmed and my back was, and I got up and I could feel it going and I went down and he sat there in his office and sometimes he must just look at me and think, will you shut the F up about your bloody back or just get on with it? And he never does, and I just had this whoosh of gratitude so it went on the list. So yeah, he's been on my list twice in a row, but it's been for different reasons. So now we're going to speak about magical relationships. So I'm just going to read you a little bit. I could just say it all myself, but I'll just like to give you a reason why we're doing it. So I'll do a bit of what she says and then obviously I'll do my version. So, are we all sitting comfortably, children? Here we have day 3. Please do share it. Magical relationships. And I just want you to stay open-minded. Right, thank you. Imagine if you were the only person on earth, you would have no desire to do anything. What would be the point in creating a painting if no one could see it? What would be the point in composing music if no one could hear it? What would be the point in inventing anything if there was no one else to use it? There would be no reason to move from one place to another because wherever you went would be the same as where you were. No one would be there. There would be no pleasure or joy in your life. There might be a little bit, you know. Come on, Rhonda. So it's your contact and experiences with other people that give your life joy, meaning and purpose. Because of that, your relationships affect your life more than anything else. To receive the life of your dreams, it's vital that you understand how your relationships affect your life right now and how they are most powerful channels for gratitude to start magically changing your life. That's very apt at the moment, isn't it? Because obviously our connections are massively down because of obviously lockdown in a lot of places. Science is now confirming the wisdom of the great sages of the past, with research studies showing that people who practice gratitude have closer relationships and are more connected to family and friends, and have other people look upon them favourably if they're the ones that practice gratitude. But probably the most astounding statistic that has come out of research studies is that for every one complaint about another person, because we all do it, don't we? We all complain about people. Whether you do it out loud or in your head, there has to be 10 blessings for that relationship to flourish. Any less than 10 blessings for each one complaint and the relationship will deteriorate. And if the relationship is a marriage, it may end in divorce. Well, that's a cheery note, Rhonda. But it's a bit like when you drink a cup of coffee. You need 5 glasses of water the same size to cancel out the diuretic effect of that cup of coffee, apparently. So, gratitude, and this is true, I know it to be true, because it changes the way I feel about that person. This is what we're going to talk about. Gratitude makes relationships flourish. Don't forget to hit the share button while you were listening, please. I'd be really grateful. Just do that. I know some of you don't want to, and I respect that. I really do. But I'm just reminding you in case you don't mind. Gratitude makes relationships flourish. As you increase your gratitude for any relationship, you will magically receive an abundance of happiness and good things in that relationship. And gratitude for relationships doesn't change only your relationship, but it also changes you. That's the biggest difference I feel. No matter what your temperament is now, gratitude will give you more patience, understanding, compassion and kindness to the point where you won't even recognise yourself. That little irritations you once felt and the complaints you had in your relationships will disappear, because when you're truly grateful for another person, there's nothing you want to change about that person. You won't criticise, complain about or blame them because you're too busy being grateful for the good things about them. In fact, you won't even be able to see the things you used to complain about. And a little quote here by Thornton Wilder said, "We can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures." Oh, I like that. So words are very powerful. So when you complain about any person, you actually harm your own life. It is your life that will suffer. By the law of attraction, whatever you think or say about another person, you bring it upon yourself. This is the very reason why the greatest minds and teachers of the world have told us to be grateful. They know that for you to receive more in your life, for your life to magically increase, you have to be grateful for others just as they are. Very important point, which I'll come back to. What if every person close to you said, "I love you just the way you are"? How would that make you feel? So before we get on what I want you to do today, or what Rhonda wants you to do today, I'm just going to put my little spin on it. It is so true. It is so easy. I'll just let the cats out. Ooh. It's so easy to get into a habit of just thinking bad things, especially the people closest to you. So obviously I'll take Simon, for instance. We've been together 33 years, and literally sometimes the way he wears his glasses and he pulls a little bit of skin like that sometimes, it makes me want to smash his head in, and I just look at him and think, dickhead. You know, and I'm not being unkind, it's just a habit you get into, and you might just think, and he might do something, he has too many cups of tea, you know, and he'll come down and make a cup of tea, and I was like, oh really? You know, you wouldn't do that if you're at work, and we work together a lot, you know, but obviously we're still together, and I won't ever want to be with anybody else, you know, but sometimes it does my head in, and I'm sure I do his head in. And sometimes I make an effort and think, right, I'm not going to be an arsehole with him today. I'm just going to be nice. And then I just have to look at him. And it all turns to shit. It really does, honestly. I look at him and I just want to just go, you're a knobhead. You're getting on my nerves. I know this sounds awful, but I'm just being honest how it is sometimes. But it's usually when I'm not happy with myself. Certainly these last few weeks, and that's why I was so grateful for him yesterday. And this is the power of the gratitudes of this book. I can already feel myself changing because I'm doing my 10 gratitudes. Simon happens to have been on it twice now in 2 days. Already I can feel not being as much of a shit to him, not being as much of frustration, you know, not being any of those, because it's bringing it to the forefront of my mind. And the reason I've been an arsehole to him a bit, and I don't mean I've not been hitting him or anything or being nasty, you know, not openly, you know, we've not been getting on. It's just this irritation and resentment and frustration I sometimes feel. And, you know, I'll pick, so what are you doing? How many times do you do that to your other half? You know, they get up and you go, where are you going? Oh, what are you doing? And because we work together, I'm always coming down going, what are you doing? Why are you doing it like that? And you've not done that. And pick. Like a little bloody annoying, shitty little woodpecker I am sometimes. What are you doing? What are you doing? And don't get me wrong, sometimes he deserves it. But a lot of the time he doesn't. And he's just trying his best. And he's got me on his case. But it's because, oh, I am Caroline, and I know that. I've always known that. And sometimes this is why this gratitude is good, because it reminds me to think that. So I'm totally with you. But it's because of my own shit. It's because I'm frustrated because I can't exercise. I'm frustrated because I've put a stone and a half on. I'm frustrated because the way I feel, I can't even be arsed having a wash in the morning. I'm frustrated because I don't look after myself. I'm frustrated because I can't bother body brushing because I don't like how I feel at the moment because I can't exercise. I'm frustrated because my back's just gone again as I'm trying to put my bloody leggings on. And yet if I called Simon up, he'd come and do it for me without complaint. You know, but I take those frustrations out, and I'm frustrated because I might have 3 bars of chocolate, one after the other, and a bag of kettle chips, and think couldn't give a shit because I feel crap and I'm just trying to make myself feel better instantly. So I take all that out on the people closest to me, and it's usually Simon. It will end. I know it will end, Leslie. But I'm really struggling, if I'm honest. You know, this not being able to move, and this is why I don't have a lot of tolerance for lazy gets, people who just don't move when they can. And I sent an email out a few weeks ago and I told people, and you arsehole, quite frankly, and I posted it on here. Look, if you can move and you're not doing, what the hell's the matter with you? So I probably had a load of people unsubscribe. So Rani, I know it's true though, isn't it? I think women especially, it depends what sort of relationship you have, but if you're inclined to wear the trousers proudly, then you do it. I've just done a meditation, Marge. I do meditations before I do these, and I sit there getting right pissed off with myself because I'm shite at it. But Jill, that's the thing, and that's what you start to do. When you become more grateful for that person, all that shit that I've just spoken about tends to not happen. It's literally like magic, it is, but you've got to put the effort in. And if you've been following me for a while, you know how much I love Simon. You know I wouldn't do anything, you know, and you know how much I appreciate how much he helps me and supports me, and we're just so very different. I'm a hot-headed knobhead and he's flat as a pancake sometimes. So those extremes really complement one another. But I've never met anybody else I'd rather be with, or I don't want to create history with somebody else. And that's what you look over the years and you think, why haven't we split up with the shit that we've been through? You know, when I look back and I just think, why? Because I know why, because it sounds ridiculous, but I'm going to share it with you. I have this thing, this metaphorical beach, when we were certainly 5 years ago, and it was just horrendous, and we just blame each other and row, pick, hate each other. You know, when you really feel like you hate your partner, you might not think that, you know. You might not think that, but I do sometimes. I'm just being honest. You know, where they just really get on your wick, but you know you really love them properly. But that can certainly flip sometimes when they say they're going to do something, or, you know, he moves a spoon out of the... I cleaned my cutlery drawer the other day, and I moved a spoon out, and and Sam said, oh, it's the camping stuff upstairs, because I was going to give it to charity. And he took it up, and I saw, yes, it's on his desk. And I know it'll stay there for months. And every time I go in, I'll see that spoon, and I'll quite frankly want to shove it up his left nostril and twist it so his nose drops off. Because it just annoys me. But that's, I think, sometimes what a marriage is. You know, I might have a really warped thing of marriage, but he's moved it now anyway, because it did get on the wick. And we all do those little things that annoy one another. I've forgotten why I was telling you that. Oh, but that's the thing. I have this thing that no matter when, certainly when we were going through our shit 5 years ago, what got me through it and why I never left is that the children are getting older, and I just imagine being on this beach, not necessarily beach, it could be anywhere, it could be sat in our back garden, you know, when we're 78. I want to be able to look back, and this might be a bit idealistic, so I'm sorry if it annoys anybody who won't be in that position, but I just want to look back and think, do you remember when I went on my first maternity leave and we had no money and we had to sit on sun lounges in our first house? Do you remember when Ben was really ill? Do you remember when we had to take Joe to hospital because he banged his head? God, do you remember that shit time we went through with the bankruptcy and the gangsters? And I want to have all that history. And I don't know if that's right or wrong. So that's what I love, you know, and that's what makes me grateful. You know, so that's what makes me grateful. So that's what gets me through, and that's, I'm sure, what gets him through, because it's real life. You know, I was 17 when I met Simon. So I'm just saying, don't chastise yourself if you don't feel lovey-dovey all the time. And I don't even mean lovey-dovey, but sometimes if you want to pour salt into the wounds, give him a paper cut and put vinegar in it. So I've reminded my partner, God, I could write a book on what he's gonna do. But so grateful for him in my life. Actions speak louder than words, don't they? So here's the task for today. How am I doing for time? Oh, I'm overrun. I'm not even bothered. It's my live video. I just like to give you my spin on it and the reason why I do this gratitude, because I could just read out of the book, but then I may as well just give you the book and off you go. Because I want to try and put a bit of feeling into it, and hopefully if you can relate to it, then you're more likely to go and do it yourself, because you might see something your partner does, or your son or your mother, and you might just think, that's really pissing me off. Well, actually, I'm not going to let it piss me off today, because I'm just so grateful for them. So let's have a look. It's only short, so you're ready. Today's magical, right, that's the thing, is being grateful for them as they are now. Don't still, oh, when you've done that and when you've done that and when you've lost a bit of weight and when you've changed your job. It's as they are now. Just like you want people to love you as you are now. Even if you're 4 stone overweight, even if you look a lot older than you wish you did, you know, even if you've just, you know, your skin's dry and you're covered in spots, does not matter. Does not matter one bit. You are you. Right, today's magical practice is being grateful for people just as they are. Even if all your relationships are currently good, they will increase with more magnificence through this practice. And with everything you find to be grateful for in each person, you will see gratitude perform its breathtaking magic, and your relationships will be stronger, more fulfilling and more enriching than you ever thought they could be. Right, this is what you need to do today. Choose 3 of your closest relationships to be grateful for. 3, please. You might choose your wife, your son, your father, or your boyfriend, your business partner, and your sister. You might choose your best friend, your grandmother, your uncle. You can choose any 3 relationships that are important to you, as long as you have a photograph of each person. The photograph can be just of the person or both of you together. Now, you can have a photograph or you can get it on your phone. whichever. No, it's important you do this. Don't just imagine them in your head, because it's all about making the effort. So I don't want you doing half-assed jobs. That won't do. Once you have selected 3 relationships and photographs, you are ready to set the magic into motion. Now, this might take a little bit of time, but it's worth it. You don't have to do it today. I mean, this is one of the ones you can continue every day, but you don't have to. A lot of them now, you only just do the once. Sit down and think about the things you are most grateful for each person. So just think about it. What are the things you love the most about this person? What are their best qualities, even if they leave the spoons in the office? You could be grateful for their patience, their ability to listen, talent, strengths, good judgment, wisdom, laugh, sense of humour, the eyes, the smiles, their kind heart. You could be grateful for the things you enjoy doing with the person, or you can recall a time where the person was there for you, cared for you, or supported you, no matter how long ago it was. So after you've spent time just thinking about what you're grateful for about that person, put their photograph in front of you, and with a pen and notebook or on your computer, choose 5 things you are the most grateful for. Look at the photograph of the person, either the photograph or on your phone. As you make your list of 5 things, begin each sentence with the magic words, thank you, and then address the person by their name, and then write what you're grateful for. So it's important you do that. It's all about the effort. Because if you just do it in your head as you're driving along, it's in and out. Whereas if you do it like this, it seeps into every cell in your body and it stays in, and it's so important you give it the time. So mine would be, thank you, Simon, for always being there for me. Thank you, Simon, for never judging me when I put weight on. Because if I have something to say when it happens to him, I know I'm a hypocrite a lot of the time. But then I do lots of lovely things for him as well. I shouldn't. I'm sorry to sound graphic. I can't believe I'm going to tell you this. This is the sort of thing I'd talk about in the tribe, my monthly membership, because it's a private group, obviously. But I'm going to tell you anyway, 270 people on, and you've shared it. But I've got to tell you, this is what it's just like sometimes. Tell me I'm not the same. If I fart in bed, that's allowed. It's all right. But if he does it, he gets absolutely shouted at, literally shouted at. I'm allowed to do it, and he doesn't complain. And I love him for that. I absolutely love him for that, I tell you. And I know I'm being a knob and being hypocritical, but it's just the way the cookie's always crumbled. So please tell me I'm not the only one who has double standards. I'm allowed to fart in bed. And Simon isn't. Unshare it. So, but that makes me love him even more. A love puff. I've never heard of that before. So I could say thank you, Simon, for allowing me to trump in bed and not shouting at me like I shout at you. So I want you to do that 5 times with each person. No, I don't do that. That's what we used to. No, I don't do that, Barbara. Come on. When you finish, as she said, you put his head under the blanket. When you finish your list for all 3 people, continue with this magical practice by taking the photographs with you today and putting them in a place where you will see them often. Whenever you look at the photographs today, thank the person by saying the magic words thank you and the person's name. So if you've got actual physical photographs, why not put them on the fridge? Put them, put them on a door, put them on the back of your front door, put them somewhere where you're going to see them. Or if they're on your phone, make a little cut and have them as your screenshot, or go into your phone and have a look at them. Make sure they're there. You don't have to scroll through for 2 hours looking for them. So do the magical practice. Have a think first, then 5 reasons. Thank you, Simon, for allowing me to trump in bed and not judging me. Thank you, Simon, for helping me off the toilet when my back is bad and caring. So I could go on. There's loads I could do. And so have a think, but then write them down and say thank you with the name and why you're thanking them. And then put the photograph somewhere. And then every time you see it in the day, just go, thank you, Simon. You don't have to go through all the things again, because they'll be there. If you've done it properly, they'll be there in your heart. You know, if you've just gone, oh, whatever, I'm not doing that, I'm grateful for Simon and that's it. And you'll go, oh, thanks, Simon, every time you see him. It won't mean anything. So just go, thank you, Simon, or thank you, George, whoever you, or thank you, Mum, whoever you've picked. Yes, Lawrence, they do appear on the page. They stay on the page. So they're on, and I'm also putting them on YouTube. So isn't it a shame that I want to buy this book for a member of my family that I think need this, but I just know they won't do it. Shelley, there's nothing you can do about that. It's a really good point. I tried to get my mum to listen to The Secret on holiday about 2 or 3 years ago. She lasted three to 5 minutes. She goes, I'm not listening to that rubbish. And you just can't, it's not your work to do. So I'd let that go. I'd even let go saying it's a shame, because that'd be your opinion. That's what I used to do. And actually I still do, if I'm honest, because I wish my mum would listen to it. Because she does complain about the weather, the queues, the traffic, and I'm really aware of it now when I'm round it, because I've done a lot of this sort of work. You really become aware of other people, and that sort of, they don't intend to be negative, because she's not in a lot of ways, but you just become very aware of it. And I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means, because my middle son Joe, has listened to The Secret and The Hero and The Power, and which is Rhonda Byrne's other books. And I'll give you just very quick example, but I might say something, I feel really, if I say to Simon, look, I don't want to argue, Joe will remind me say, I want to get along instead. Don't say what you don't want, because the fact that you're saying what you don't want is putting it out there. And then it really does take practice. And sometimes I'll be gutted, I'll be disappointed. I'll go, Mum, get off your disappointed horse. And that's a whole other subject, which I'm not going to go on about now. But that's the sort of things I talk about in the tribe and on here sometimes. So that's it. That's your practice for today. So if it was a bit graphic, but I just want to give you a gist. Oh, hang on. Right, just the very last bit. If you move, right, now you know how to use gratitude's magical power to transform relationships into magical relationships. Although it's not part of the requirement of the book, you may want to take the amazing practice and use it every day if necessary to make every relationship you have magnificent. You can use it on the same relationship as many times as you want. The more you can be grateful for the good things in your relationship, the faster every relationship in your life will miraculously change. Try doing it on somebody you're really not keen on, I tell you, or you've had a fallout with. If you've got a friend who you might have had a fallout, or a neighbour, or try doing it on that. I tell you, it just releases everything, it really does. So I hope that helps. That's today's practice. Do you know what, we're only 3 days in. We've got another, how many days are we doing? 25 days to go. How many of you do you think will still be here at the end of lockdown? Well, obviously if lockdown's only lasting for November, because I tell you, you can of course watch them separately. You can have not done yesterday's video, and obviously if you still do this, you are going to get huge benefit from this section, from your relationships. But if you do them all, can you imagine how you're going to feel at the end of the month, after, when so many people will be obviously pissed off in lockdown, they've put another stone on and feel shit, and they're taking that resentment out on the partners instead of being grateful for them. I know it sounds woo-woo and a bit, some people will not like it at all because it's just not their thing, and that's fine, it really is, but can you imagine how you're going to feel if you just stay open-minded and do this practice? And what I'd encourage you to do, if you know anybody that's struggling, anybody who you think, do you know what, I really love that friend, But do you know what she does? She complains about this, that. She's always, not bitching, but she's always saying, oh, Janice at the office did this, yeah, nah. You know, and all that does, just think, and just subtly say, share this, and go, try a bit of this, you know. So, I know I like a bit of down-to-earth, Kate, of explanation, because it's what a lot of us think, really. Not a lot, you don't often see it in a book, but you'll be seeing it in my book when I finally get it done. It's about a quarter done, I'd say, my book. But yes, and I might even mention trumping in bed. All right then, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I might put a reminder on at 4 o'clock. I'm not going to do that every day because I know what will happen. If I do that every day, people will stop watching the videos, although they can't because I don't actually put what you have to do that day on the reminder. I just want you to remind you to watch the video. So I'll probably pop it on again today. And you can fast forward the video. You don't have to be listening to all this bit now because we've done, as soon as you know what the gist is, you can switch off. Right, so longest video yet, that 36 minutes, but I'm not even bothered. All right then, have a wonderful day. Go and pick your 3 people. Enjoy picking them, the relationships that you really want to work on, and just watch it happen and see how different you are today with them. Tell you tend to look at them and they'll do something that usually would irritate you, and at first you bite your tongue because it's all about an awareness. And don't worry if you fail sometimes, it's all about awareness first, and then that awareness becomes more, and then you just tend to sort of stop doing it as much, and then occasionally you'll forget and you'll give them an absolute earful, and that's all right too, because it's all about awareness. It's practice, practice, practice. All right then, have a wonderful day. Cheerio, bye.